If you've built a powerful reputation offline, but your digital presence is not yet telling your full story, you are not taking full advantage over your own lived experience. You're leading a team, scaling a service, juggling apps, and you're still managing your brand yourself, and that's okay. The truth of the matter is, most leaders that I speak with believe that their story is a part of their brand. And today, in 5 minutes or less, my goal is to show you that your story is the brand. And if you don't own that narrative, someone else will tell a less powerful version for you. So today I will show you in 5 minutes or less how to own your own narrative with a very simple storytelling structure, the same storytelling structure that has led to me being on stage, the same storytelling structure that has led to me working with amazing clients. And for those of you who are new here, my name is Jordi-Lakeem Foster, a service-based business owner in Brooklyn, New York. And I have worked with over 600 clients over my tenure in business across 20 different industries. I've worked with H&M, New York University, Paramount Studios, City Harvest, Peace Players Brooklyn, the Institute of Applied Human Dynamics, that's a nonprofit, and many more. And today I'm going to share some of the principles that I've learned over my decade-long career so that you as a business leader can get clarity on how to tell your story in a way that resonates with people. I've broken this video down into three parts. I'm going to tell you what is a story. The second part is going to be why stories matter for branding. The third part is literally going to be how to tell your stories. It's going to be very quick. And then I have an example from a LinkedIn post that I made of when I visited a program that I was a part of in 2013 when I came to the country from Jamaica in December 2012. So I'm going to be doing exactly what I'm going to be showing you guys how to do today. The first part of this narrative is, well, what is a story? I'm going to put this in green because green signifies the money. Your story is an emotional connection and not just a series of facts. Since LinkedIn and many other social platforms are undergoing a change right now, most people are given factual information, which is great as positioning you as an authority. That's great. I'm not saying don't do it. The piece that I think people are missing is they're not layering in their personal stories. We don't know who you are, where you came from, what you did to become the person that you are, the challenges that you faced, and the obstacles you overcame. You're just an information recycling machine. And that's what I see happening with most people. The truth about good stories create resonance, not just recognition. When you tell a good story, you're able to build a bond with somebody. I remember this networking event I went to last week. I was speaking to a financial professional, worked in the family office space, worked with companies that managed hundreds of millions to billions of dollars. And me not downplaying anything I've done in my life, but I'm an immigrant from Jamaica. My parents and I, my family, we came here December 2012 on a cold day in Jamaica. We started over our life. I got an internship at the Museum of Jewish Heritage. That's like 2014, 2013. Got a tech internship. I went to NYU. I'm still building my life. But why is it that we could have a 45-minute conversation? That's because I'm not trying to be like, I've never managed a family office, but I know what I know. I know how to communicate. I know how to ask questions. I know how to be curious. And then at the same time, lean in 100% into my own experience. And that's how we were able to have a good conversation. So no matter what skill level somebody's at, whether you perceive them to be in a higher position on the totem pole or the social ladder, it doesn't matter. A good conversation will resonate no matter who it is. The third part of this is that it's a bridge. It's a bridge to get them to turn from a complete stranger into somebody that is able to resonate with you on an emotional level. So you can think of it as a bridge. It is a bridge that turns somebody from a stranger, from stranger danger into, wow, I think I could actually enjoy a conversation with this person. So that's part one. Part two is And I see we're at the 5 minute mark here, so we're just going to keep going. Why does stories matter for Brandon? The story matters for Brandon because there's a few things and a few facts of the marketplace, and you guys have been in business for quite some time. And if you haven't, buckle up. You're not the only one selling what you're selling. Everybody is selling some variation of it. And as the marketplace continues to get more saturated, or as I like to say, more competitive, you have to figure out how to stand out. The best way to stand out is you are one of one. That's just the truth. Next part is stories make your brand emotionally distinct. While your service may not be distinct in the eyes of your customer because they're like, well, it's just another agency, it's just another guy talking, it's just somebody else spitting with the facts. There's nobody else that came from Jamaica in December 17, 2012, well, 2012, to this country with his family, lived in the basement, lived with his cousin, got into an internship program 6 months later, went to NYU 2 years later on a full scholarship. That's my story, and nobody can own that. The third part, people remember your transformation and not just the transactions. There's this common saying that we have in culture where people remember how you make them feel, and that rule applies here. That brings us to one of the most interesting parts, which is what you guys have been waiting on in this video, which I will share, which is now, well, how do you tell your story, Jordi? It sounds cool. I understand what a story is. I want to create emotional impact. I want to stand out, but how do you do it? I'm going to show you exactly how right now. You just follow these steps. Don't mix and mince and try to do it any other way. Just follow the structure. Every good story has a structure. So you want to reveal the wound, right? Don't throw salt in it just yet. Reveal the wound, and the wound in this context is, what is the moment that changed you? In the story I've been repeating in this video, I came to New York City in December 17, 2012. That was a transformative moment. Now, is it a wound in the traditional sense? No, but it's the moment that changed my life. When you reveal that, you're gonna share like what helped you shift. What's the change agent? The change agent in my story is I came to New York in December 17, 2012, and then I had to start over. I looked at my father not having a job for a while. I looked at my mother trying to figure out what the next move in their career was going to be. They got a job. I was able to work at a pest control agency along with my father. I was a secretary making $200 a week. And then that was one of the early things I do. I picked up bottles that summer, got up at 5 a.m., did that. And that is a part of my narrative. Third part is extracting the lesson. Well, what did that teach you? Right? Did you learn anything? And this is where you have to just be a little bit introspective. What did you learn about yourself? And these are some questions you could use. What did you learn about the environment? What did you learn about the marketplace? And this is something that you want to share with your audience because, believe it or not, there are people that are going through exactly what we were going through. And believe it or not, they're looking for something to resonate with. When you've done all of that, you share the return. If you the return in this context is, how are you using that story to now serve others, right? I have gone through my internship program at the Museum of Jewish Heritage, at the Brooklyn Public Library, went to NYU. I bought my first camera in 2014, and then I now help photographers who build their businesses. I now, in the beginning of this video, I've shown the clients that I've worked with, my client roster, right? These are people that I've leveraged these storytelling principles in the work that I do. So this is my example in this context of how I'm using that to serve others. Now, as far as an example, like what does this look like in the real world? In the real world, you can see here, I start off, and you can steal this story structure here. When I first came to this country in December 2012, I was still trying to figure it out. What did I want to do? Who did I want to become? And like many immigrants, if you're an immigrant, you know the story. You came with ambition, but you got no roadmap. You're just trying to figure it out. It's brand new territory. In 2013, I joined a program called Teen Techies at the Brooklyn Public Library, headed by Jackson Gomes. I was curious about technology, eager to learn, looking for direction. And what I found was more than tech skills. I found a community, mentorship, and most importantly, I found belief in myself and in what was possible because my options got open. So on June 18th of this year, literally a month ago, I returned to Teen Techies for their 20th anniversary reunion. I ran from my mother's graduation dinner and I only had 5 minutes for the event, but I knew I had to show up. But that room gave me so much. What I didn't expect was to be called on stage. Jackson called me up on stage and he handed me the mic for an impromptu speech. And even though it was unplanned, I was ready because when you have lived the story, the words are already written. I shared, see, you have a typo here. This is not AI, right? Good. I shared where I was back in 2013 to 14, who I became since, and I looked at the graduating students, and I saw a reflection of my sense, their eyes, they said it all. And I was just grateful here. I'm not selling anything in this particular post. I'm in business, so I am selling stuff. But in this post, what made it did really well. And now we're talking in the context of B2B work. This is not entertainment based posts. In my network, I have executives that work at tech firms, real estate firms, financial firms. They work in a family office space. So the 26 people here that we're talking aren't 26 people that are just looking for entertainment based posts. These are people that are serious business owners that are looking for ways to innovate. In many cases, I hear people talking about, I need a big following, but you just really need the right following. You need the right people to be connected to you, and you need to be visible in front of them. And more visibility will always help, but I always try to coach my clients on having the right set of visibility. And as far as proof goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is a picture of me and Jackson at the library after the event. And then what proof is better than the signature, right? May 18, 2013, where I got accepted into the Today's Teens Tomorrow Techies program. And then I notified Jackson of my acceptance in June 17th, 2015 for my full ride. So I actually didn't make this connection, but I went to the anniversary on June 18th. So that was a day before I sent that email. Cool connection, right? But that's how documentation works. And Jackson was always really good at responding to emails. Shout out to you, Jackson, for that. But this post did really well, relative, right? But this post did really well because the story resonated emotionally. I hope that this helps. I thought this was going to be 5 minutes, but seemed like 13 minutes was the happy mark for this. And this is how you do it, guys. This is how you resonate with people on an emotional level. And I hope that this video was very helpful for you. I'll see you on the other side. And until then, stay blessed. And I'll look forward to helping you guys with more storytelling structure and ways that you can resonate, scale your brand, and ultimately take all the work that you've done offline and bring that to online platforms. Thank you.